All right, everyone, welcome back to the United States Coffee and Good Spirits stage here on day 2. We are just wrapping up the setup time for our first competitor, so we are going to prime you guys for the second day of coffee cocktail competition here. My name is Matt Foster. I am your host for this weekend of coffee cocktails. We saw some amazing competitors yesterday coming through. Today we have 4 more that are going to do their best to make it through into the finals. And tomorrow we will see our finalists compete for the privilege of going to Milan, Italy to compete in the World Championships for the first time for the United States. So, for those of you who aren't in the know, this competition is based around serving 2 cold coffee cocktails and 2 hot coffee cocktails using espresso or brewed coffee. This is only the second year in which this competition has taken place in the United States, so we're very excited for all of our competitors to be here with us today. So, before we move forward with our first run, we just need to give a big thanks to our sponsors. First, FEMA is the official title sponsor of the United States Coffee and Good Spirits. And you can admire their machines on either side here. Simonelli is the grinder sponsor on stage. Hella Cocktail Company has supplied the bitters for us. And thank you to the prize sponsors of Baratza and Espro. We do have a new prize sponsor this year, Puck Press, who will be awarding this weekend's top 6 winner with a brand new Puck Press. Thank you to Libby for sponsoring the Irish coffee glasses that they'll be using in the final round. And thank you to Akaya, Pentar, and Ernex for keeping us measured, hydrated, and clean throughout. Thank you to Da Vinci Gourmet and Ruchan for providing the syrups, and thank you to our Coffee and Good Spirits competition supply sponsor, Pacific Foods. And a big thank you to Da Vinci Gourmet for providing support for competitors to compete at the U.S. Coffee Championships with cash prizes, as well as support to travel to the World Championships, which again is in Milan, Italy this year. Thank you to all of our sponsors for supporting our coffee community. And a big thank you to our judges today, whose tireless effort and excellence helped to elevate our competition to a new level of craft. We appreciate all of the dedication and love that you pour into this event and industry. Thank you so much. And for our volunteers as well, who we could not do this without, big thank you to all of them. And remember to use our hashtags, hashtag US Coffee Champs and hashtag USCC 2022. Make sure to follow all of your favorite competitors, tag them, and use those hashtags. So, we have our first competitor this morning, Mo, representing Slipstream Coffee out of Washington, D.C., everyone. Let's give it up for Mo.
Hello.
All right, so now we are just going to patiently await our judges to make their way over.
Hello. Good morning.
All right, Mo, whenever you are ready, go ahead and call for your music.
Y'all good? We're ready? All right. Time. Good morning, y'all. Good to see you. It's been a while, so let's get started. So the coffee I'm using today is Kamgogo from Kenya. I chose this coffee because of the intensity in flavor, also the high acidity. The flavor notes that you're going to get in this coffee are yuzu, blackcurrant, and hibiscus. In front of you, I have the list of ingredients that I'm going to be using in there. So feel free to take a quick glance. I'll be right back as I'm grinding coffee, brewing coffee real quick. So it's 11:30 on a Saturday. Let's imagine that we're at brunch together. The first drink I'm going to welcome you with is a hot drink using filter. So Kamgogo as filter has a lot of that, has a lot of the savory components that's super good. And that's where my inspiration of this cocktail comes from. So I'm brewing coffee using 18 grams of coffee and 180 grams of water. This will kind of like maintain that intensity and as well as the body. So as I'm waiting for the coffee to brew, I'm going to put in 1 ounce of the botanical gin. This will complement that floral notes of the hibiscus I mentioned earlier. Next, I'm putting in 1.5 ounce of tomato water. This will represent the acidity. Then a few drops of kombu tincture, which is a dried kelp tincture that I made. This will enhance that umami and balance notes into the drink and bring out that savoriness that I was crazy about. And then a little bit of sugar, so 1/4 ounce of sugar to balance everything together. I'm giving it a little stir. I'm waiting for the coffee to finish brewing. Last but not least, we're going to add some coffee into it. So this is my hot drink, but once transferred into your glass, it's going to be a nice warm drinkable temperature. I'm going to garnish the drink with bay leaves and sous vide tomato. So before you take a sip, I want you to use the garnish to give the drink a stir 3 times. As the juice from the tomato will seep through as it being punctured, and that will enhance your experience even more. The flavor notes you're going to get are sun-dried tomato, Italian herbs, so think of oregano, sweet basil, and thyme. And then toward the ends, you're going to get a little bit of spearmint. Enjoy.
Let's give it up for Mo's Hot Cocktails.
So as you're sipping that, I'm gonna start on my next drink. Kim Go-Go as espresso loses that savory component, but gain the really vibrant and tropical notes to it. And that's what I want to do with this cocktail. We're gonna go cold with this one. So earlier I poured an espresso shots using 20 grams of coffee and then 50 gram out. So earlier I put in 1.5 ounce of tequila. Next I'm gonna do 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. These two together combined will bring out really nice acidity in this cocktail. Next I'm putting in 1/2 ounce of spice rum reduction and jackfruit puree. These two together will enhance, so 1 ounce of jackfruit puree. These two together will enhance the tropical notes that I want to bring out in this coffee. Last but not least, 1 ounce of Kim Go-Go espresso. And then we're gonna shake it. So this drink is going to be served over ice. All right. And it's going to be garnished with lemongrass and grapefruit peel, which will help connect that vibrant citrus as well as the tropical notes together. The flavor notes you're going to get from this drink are tangerine, vanilla, yellow mango, and papaya. judges, thank you so much for joining me during this brunch. I hope you enjoyed this drink. Time.
Let's give it up for Mo Koolphanich from Slipstream Coffee, Washington, D.C.
Woo.
Hey, Mo.
Hey.
How you feeling?
Great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That looked really good.
It is delicious, I think.
Yeah. So in your second cocktail there, I noticed that like you had jackfruit.
Jackfruit
Puree,
and then
lemon.
so jackfruit puree and then spice rum reduction.
That's awesome. I mean, you and I talked earlier yesterday. Have your recipes like really evolved since we're just now completing our 2020 season? How much have your recipes evolved since having so many of these competitions canceled? Because that seems like a really in-depth recipe.
It's yes and no in a way that there's certain part of the of the ingredients I used that was sort of kind of developed from the last time, and then there's some that I just kind of think of the new one, just because I love the coffee that I'm using. So yeah, that's just kind of all together, yes and no, from the last time and then this new one as well together, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Yes. I mean, one of the hardest things in making these high quality coffee cocktails is finding the right ingredients of the spirits and everything else that complements the coffee that we're using.
Yeah.
One change in the coffee, you can't just use any coffee with any of these cocktail recipes, right?
Yes, and I always want to use Kenyan coffee in the cocktail, and I always want to highlight both of that, vibrant and that citrus, that fun, fruity notes that we love, as well as the savory component in the coffee as well. And it's been my dream of all time to use Kenyan with tomato juice, tomato water, or something.
Yes,
and
yes.
I just did that.
It's amazing. I loved it.
Yeah.
And anyone out there you want to thank, say hi to?
Hello, everybody. So thank you, Glitter Cats, for everything that they do. Thank you to Pacific for sponsor every one of us. And then thank you, Slipstream, for allowing me to be here for a lot of days. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mo. Again, Mo
Thank you.
Koolphanich from Slipstream Coffee. All right, our next competitor is scheduled to be on stage at 12:40, everyone. So make sure to circle back around and come back and see him.